It happens in silence. One day, the kindest person you know simply disappears from your life. No warning, no explanation, no final conversation. They're just gone. And in psychology, there's a name for this. It's not coldness. It's one of the most powerful things a human mind can do. Carl Jung called it individuation, the process of becoming who you actually are instead of who everyone needed you to be. When someone finally cuts everyone off, they aren't losing themselves, they're returning to themselves. And once that process begins, it rarely reverses. Here's what people misunderstand about the person who walked away. They weren't the difficult ones. They weren't the ones holding grudges. They were the ones who stayed the longest, who forgave the most, who absorbed what others couldn't, and kept showing up until the day they didn't. Psychologists have a term for this pattern too. It's called the fawning response. Learned as children, some people discover early that love is safer when it's earned by disappearing for other people, by staying agreeable, by making themselves easy to keep around. So they keep giving, keep forgiving, keep showing up for people who stopped showing up a long time ago. And nobody notices the cost, because kind people don't announce what they're carrying. They just keep carrying it, until something in them quietly stops agreeing to. Jung had another concept for this. The shadow, the parts of ourselves we don't let into the light. For most people, the shadow holds anger, selfishness, impulses they won't admit to. But for someone who learned early that their needs were an inconvenience, the shadow holds something else. Their boundaries, their right to choose themselves, their permission to walk away from what was never actually reciprocated. And when that finally surfaces, it doesn't ask for the right moment. It doesn't wait for an apology that was never coming anyway. It simply moves, completely, finally, without looking back. That's not a breakdown. That's what Jung meant by becoming whole, not the version of you built around everyone else's comfort, the actual self, the one that was always waiting underneath the performance. You cannot become that person while pouring everything you have into people who never once asked if you had anything left. So the disappearance isn't the loss, it's the arrival. The silence they left behind isn't emptiness, it's the sound of someone who spent years giving everything to everyone, finally giving something to themselves. Subscribe to Mind Scene.